In the context of consciousness and its interface with the fabric of reality, there is this process in the spiritual dimensions called motion or movement. Occasionally, or rarely, I spot some person dancing with the alchemy of life, as might one spot a rare and beautiful animal on a safari in the wild. It is something like a peace in their mind, a sense of usurping of their environment by a steady state of feeling from their insides, which they radiate out in their expression and personality. But even these rare creatures, who affect reality so, are only half aware of what they are doing. It is always astonishing to me to be half aware of something. The alchemy of this active expression had in time entangled thoroughly with their personality, and they ride this horse, or really a little pony, because they are only half aware of their expression, now merely by habit, some treasure that they had gotten used to as they capitulate slowly, by the insistence of life around them, back into the halting stop of the natural dimension and its false insistence of impotence. Because the world says that the mind has no power to affect reality. Now as we, as humans, had fallen and cascaded into the last refuge of life or survival, our physical body and its brain, our fallenness does not negate the power of our consciousness of our brain, which still with fierce alacrity touch and affect the sublayers of the fabric of reality, only now, by lack of knowledge, and pain, conquers towards halting stagnation rather than liberal cosmic motion or flow. The natural things, in this dimension, affect the spiritual world. Even all of darkness and Satan were defeated by a physical body, when God came in a physical body. It is again, and repeatedly, God's life in our physical bodies which flattens all of the darkness. At any event, considering the power of our mind, let us remember that despair touches the dimensions, grinds life to a halt. Hope starts a little motion. Sorrow stops, joy moves. Rest and stillness are actually components of movement. Restlessness and worries touch, like some mighty hand, the reality fabric and bring our cosmic dance or motion to a stop. The play and innocence of a child has motion. Hate makes all things stop. Love has motion. Hoping for good for others has motion for us. Wishing harm or seeing no potential in others causes a stop. Every thought we have to answer in our head causes us to stop. The next image in our mind, a concept image, causes us to stop right there, for that moment. Having a dream for life causes motion, but it is not enough. The cosmic dance of life requires our soul to move. By our soul I mean our sense and self-awareness of our exquisite self, in a moment of silence, forgetting everything, for a moment, as it were, because the soul walks through the mind of the brain. And when our soul moves, so, the whole of reality is in our hand, at least our own path. Our minds take a gamble on the opinion of others, a most terrific and passive gamble, which is to say, in our own doubts, that we defer truth, defer our own path, to the belief of others, perhaps by some mathematical and immature logic, that there is a statistical probability of correctness of reality in the collective mass of minds. But this is of course not true. Most people are wrong. Yet even in our stopping of life, our brain is still active, and our powers to change life for the better is equal to changing our life for the worst. And in our despair, especially if we are powerful and reflective, we can pull into our life an external fire from the beyond, and burn down our own house, our circumstances, and makes this fire the parent of our destiny, and in the doom loop of pain and disappointment, yield our little path, and those nearby, to terrible flame. We can douse the flames of the beyond when we walk through the water of the mind, and the water of the mind is lovely thoughts. The brain entity does not know where we had gone, so let us be finally found in my brain. The soul walks through the mind of the brain, in lovely thoughts, when our presence is in our mind. And one more thing I think about here, as I am going a little long. I think this morning again about something I had read. An angel had told someone that spiritual teachers talk too much. It seems, as I think about it, that the advice has less to do with length of time, although some point remains therein, but more to do with the way the teacher teaches. When he talks too much he spills some of his or her inner water, something of him or her that had to be kept invisible. We should speak as though we are not speaking, and teach as though we are not teaching. There is something inside us, our inner treasure of self, that, for emphasis, no one should see. And if we talk too much, spreading ourselves out in disregard, we spill our quantums, which ought to be a water that douses the flames that burn our life.